Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? My name is Keisha. I am the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be doing my interpretation of Mars and Pisces, which wraps up my Mars and Pisces series. Unfortunately, it's broken up into two different files. You'll have to go to my old page in order to get the rest of all the Mars through the signs series. But nonetheless, from here on out, all the rest will be in here. So it is what it is. I'm making it work. But maybe I can make a folder and put it on my link tree. I'll try and see if I can figure that out. But so Mars in Pisces. I'll be starting Venus next, by the way, just because of the time that I'm doing this. A lot of Mars energy, a lot of Venus energy. These planets are going to be very, very important moving forward with the astrology for the next foreseeable future. So that's why I started with Mars, and I'm gonna do Venus next. Okay, Mars in Pisces. So what is Mars? This is a lot, I have to say, because Mars is also rules as the ancient ruler of Scorpio, which is a water sign, and most people won't talk about this from this perspective. But it's important to know because most people would assume right off the bat that Mars and Pisces is not a good combination. Um, but it is. It's very strong because Mars is familiar with water energy, and it's important to say that. So, in a sense, Mars is strong here, but because it's in Pisces, it's very ethereal. Pisces rules um, the imagination, your creativity, dreams, deja vu, daydreaming. This is somebody who's very connected to the divine, um, and like receiving messages from the universe, if you will, or your guides, depending on whatever spiritual practices you have, which also it's very important to mention that Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. And and so it also incorporates some of that Jupiterian energy, which is also ruled by that rules Sagittarius. And so all that has to do with the ninth house is also plays a really big role here, which is the guru, a higher spiritual knowledge, higher law, really, spiritual law. This is like, what's the name of that book? It's a book. It's like, um, it's kind of indicative to, um, the laws of, um, you know, eye for an eye. I don't know why it's missing me right now. I can't think of the name of it, but these are spiritual practices and beliefs that do unto others as others do unto you. I think it's like 97 laws or something like that, but whatever. Somebody out there is going to know what I'm talking about. This is very connected to Mars and Pisces energy. This is somebody who is super empathic, very intuitive, psychic even, but they have a strong faith. Even if these are people who don't know about it or believe in it, they are very connected to the divine. It might even come out through the creativity or somebody who's very self-indulgent in their creative projects, whether that's art or animation or somebody who's in Hollywood, an actor, because Pisces rules behind the scenes. This is a director or somebody who is behind the scenes directing, that does all the work behind the scenes to make something, to create a product, some kind of creative, imaginative project. Um, so these people could also be very like into video games, that they like to escape through um from the physical realm. These people don't do well in everyday, day-to-day reality, which is going to be very hard for these people when Saturn comes here in 2023. This is another reason why I decided to do Mars first, because I'm telling you, has been going through a transformation since 2020. And so all Mars ruled people are probably going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But to stay on track here, um, these are people who can really escape, especially if they don't have a spiritual practice or belief, or they don't know who they are. They're more easily susceptible to the lower vibrations um of Pisces energy, which is escapism, escaping from the physical day-to-day reality. So again, these are video game players, like I said, directors, or somebody who has a really strong creative passion, and they're in there. Like, these people want to lock the door, they want to be behind the scenes, and they want to delve into their project, whatever that is. It really does depend on what house this is in for you, but this could also be photography, documentaries, um, again, YouTubers, anybody who does any kind of like thing on TikTok, from that ninth house energy, public speakers, writers, authors, or again, gurus. So this is because Mars is here. This can be a martial artist, because Pisces rules the feet. So these are people who can dance really well. They might even get a lot of their inspiration through their feet. Um, so if it's not like yoga, Reiki, astrology, any of the spiritual practices, then this is somebody who's a good dancer, any kind of dancer, because Neptune is a higher vibration of Venus. This could definitely be, strippers, okay? With Mars here, especially because you have to remember Mars is familiar with Scorpio. Scorpio's about prostitution, um, on the lower vibration, sex scandals, and things of that nature, even tantra, and all these other kinds of things. So some of these things will play out here for some people. Um, So you also want to make sure you're looking at the ninth and eighth house when you're looking at this specific placement, because a lot of the similarities will come into play here. Um, this is also dancers, um, martial artists, gurus, runners, track athletes, um, and fashion, because again, Venus is a higher octave of Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. So I've seen like people who do patents and things of that nature could be here from time to time. Um, it also again rules Hollywood. So this could be an actor or musician, even hip hop or poetry, something to that nature could be a creative project here. Um, these could be people who I always think of, because Mars is here, like the martyrs of the world, like people who fight for a cause, for other people, and maybe there ends up being some kind of death around that, or addiction, or overdose, something like the Joker, the villain in some sense here. Because Pisces is my like thin line between love and hate. So I always put the I try to put the combinations together of what kind of other energies that can be in on a lower vibration. I think the way it shows up in everyday life is that these are the people who um unfortunate have like unfortunate deaths through overdose or something of that nature because they feel so much. Again, you have to understand these are people who they're isolating because they don't want to connect, but they are so connected to every fucking thing. Like they feel everything, right? And they're completely tapped in. And you got to think if somebody who doesn't know that, this could definitely be somebody who has some kind of mental health issues. They see things. This is definitely the connection to like ghosts and spirits and spiritual attacks and things of that nature that can fall into play here, or people who just like to isolate and again, some kind of escaping from who they really are, because they just don't know, they don't understand. They can be very passive aggressive and idealize love. Um, um, yeah, I'm just trying to think of what other things. Somebody who struggles with illusions, delusions. Um, I mean, I guess that's the same as saying that you have mental health issues. Some say the sign is very lazy. Because again, it's just energetically, this energy is slow move. It's like a sloth. If you're not into video games, you could be an avid show person, like somebody who has like shows that they are so dedicated to. And when they come on, it's like, don't bother me, my show's on. Because Pisces is also related to like relaxing and isolating and being behind the scenes, very disconnected from the world in some way. But it's also like the things you do behind the scenes and the things that take place behind the scenes. This could be bed pleasures, okay? Because it's also related to your dreams and dream states. That's where the Reiki comes in and the other spiritual practices that people could be very psychic and intuitive, again, connected to source in a really dope kind of way. But if you aren't spiritual, you suck them to the lower vibrations of this energy. But for the people who know who they are, these are people who are into yoga. They wake up, they have a faith-based practice. They might even be a guru. This is somebody who sits Indian style and is like, tap the fuck in. I always think of Doctor Strange because it's connected to portals and different realms and it's such a Hollywood connection for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I love Pisces energy. I could talk about this all day, but before I go off on the deep end, Mars is your drive, passion, actions, and sexual attraction. And so these are people who might be attracted to people who are into spiritual practices and things of that nature, or somebody who is very creative and dedicated to their craft. Um, are they good in bed? I mean, I think these people can get too caught up with the non-physical, going back to that Scorpio side where it's more um this is somebody who can have a connection, but they want to get in your mind, like in your energy. They want your feelings. It's not so much about the physical. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that they don't have them or they don't have these kind of lower physical expressions when it comes to it. But to get them, that it's that initial attraction that probably most likely only gonna fuck with you unless you have those things that really get them fired up. And um that's just my interpretation of Mars and Pisces people. Definitely people who love Comic-Con, These are your geek squads for sure if they're into like Marvel and all that other stuff. I'm sorry, I just had to put that. The animes, the deep anime people. Um, just saying, it is what it is. It's all spiritual, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, this is my interpretation of Mars and Pisces. Again, I'll be starting Venus next. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.